Sick. So Drew, we were talking about how you don't like the black community. No, I'm just playing.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Welcome back.
Strong start.
Maybe the first, maybe one of. All we know is one of many podcasts of the Perplexing Perspective. I am your co-host, Julian Hazen,
I'm your other host, Max McDonough.
and we have a guest today. Woo!
Hey.
Drew, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Drew Waelde. Know these guys because they're roommates with one of my best friends from high school. Shout out Tyler Cobb.
Tyler, give me
Yeah,
camera. Tyler, give me
honestly,
camera.
Shout out
Give me camera,
Tyler Cobb. We are joined with a live audience today. Tyler's got pasta. So we are joined with a live audience today. My fiance and Tyler Tyler Cobb are in the crowd, along with our cat Alake that you might see or not see. But yeah,
Or here.
What'd you say?
You'll definitely hear him.
You'll definitely hear him. He will get a little vocal at some point. He has found a zip tie just at our feet. Luckily, he's not in frame just yet. But more important topic, Drew. We're here about you. We're here about your perspective. We're here about everything about you. So tell us where you're from. Give us a little bit from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Southern California.
Boo. Sorry. Continue.
Not many people know. It's Murrieta Temecula area, but you typically just say I'm from San Diego. That's where I'm from. I went to college up in Oregon to a small university called George Fox University. I played Division III football there for a couple years. Decided that wasn't really my jam anymore. I decided to give that up, focus on school, was able to graduate early. And then since graduating in December 2023, I've just been working online with one of my best friends from high school with this company, Fifth Element Media. I'm actually wearing the shirt. And I manage all the ads for all of our clients. And my official title is Data Analyst and Ads Manager.
Sick.
And so I control all the budget for all of our clients and make analysis on what we need to be changing on the ads.
Beautiful. So the main questions that I really want to get into and ask you is what makes you who you are? Why are you the way you are? And where did all of that come from? So if you had to keep it very simple, if you had to summarize who you were as a person, I guess we can kind of go off the looking glass theory. Is like, not only how do you see you, how do you think people see you, and how do you see that people see you, if that makes sense. That last one's kind of convoluted and questionable.
Yeah.
But that kind of is what builds your perspective. So
100%.
I guess you can just start on, like, how do you see yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I view myself to be a very positive, loving person. I try to bring joy to all those around me, and overall just be positive with every encounter with who I meet. I mean, it kind of speaks to you guys and the friendship I built with you guys. I've only known you guys for a year and have barely spent as a total like
5 days?
yeah 5
maybe
days
yeah
total.
maybe 5 days.
And I feel like I have established real friendships with you guys, and I would like to think that you guys view me in that same manner of just being a very positive, open-minded, like friendly person. And I would say like what got me to like become who I am is just, it sounds cliche and like pretty basic, but just everything I've been through in life. I haven't always been this super positive person. I actually had a pretty negative outlook on life and kind of had like the victim's mentality, like growing up. And I went through a pretty harsh breakup towards the end of my college experience, and that really forced myself, to take a look in the mirror and like reframe my perspective on life and kind of like build this like new identity. And I could confidently say, like, through all the hardships like in my life, like it's led me to who I am now, and I'm confident and able to say that like I'm happy with who I am as a person because of what I've been through.
I want to speak to the point that you talked about with us. I would definitely agree with you saying about yourself that you're a very like vibrant and positive human being. Because in the couple of times that I've spent with you now, like I've only had good experiences with you, and you definitely are like a light in every room that you walk into.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really appreciate that about you, and I think that's why it was super easy for me and also for Julian as well to connect with you. You really gave us that door to really walk into and be like, hey, let's like learn about each other, like let's create some memories, and yeah, no. So props to you, and that's cool that you had that realization as well, and that you were like, I need to grow from this and become better as well, because it's your hard work is paying off.
100%. I am, for anybody that knows me outside of the pod or just outside of like just in real life, I'm a people person like 20% of the time. I just like I don't. I'm the type. I was having this conversation with my mom the other day. Like I have gotten to the point in my life that it's it feels almost useless to build really strong bonds again because I have a group of friends that I have back in Georgia that like we've been best friends since 10. I have my group of friends out here that I have, and it feels and like your outlook gives me a different perspective on how I see things is because like I got to the point where like if you're not already in my inner circle, there was kind of no point in building, if that makes sense. And like I was telling when Tyler first told me that you were coming up here, I was like, no, what did we say? What did I say? No new niggas. Like no, nobody knew. I don't do new.
Yeah.
And the moment I met you, I threw my personality out to you, which I know is harsh and not everybody's cup of tea. And I've grown to love my personality in that way. But your positivity, your light just completely overshadowed the fact that I didn't want to build any new connections. You were like, yeah, like I know you don't really want to know me, but my positivity is not going to give you a choice, and I'm so glad that it didn't. Because like you are one of the very few people that in like the last 2 years of my life that I've met and like fully connected with and rocked with, and like I won't say I could move in with you because I've only known you for like 5 days, but like if you were like, hey, I need someone to be here for me, or I need a place to stay or stuff like that. That's huge for me, and I would easily do that for you. And your positivity, your light, like Max said, like when you walk into a room, just takes over.
Yeah, your energy is kinetic. Like, you
100%
like,
bar.
yeah, no, like you
Ba, ba, ba,
definitely
ba.
like, make a lot of good things happen when you're around. So like it's cool to watch and it's cool to be in the presence of as well. So thank you overall for being you.
Of course, bro. Like, I appreciate those words you guys say. Like, I don't take those like lightly. Like, I can tell like you guys mean those words, especially coming from you. And I appreciate what you're saying about me. Like, that means a lot. Just because, I mean, growing up, like it wasn't like super easy for me to like meet new people. Like, I was very shy, like growing up, and a little more introverted.
Really?
I was, yeah. And as I've gotten older and like I've matured and like grown into who I am, I just really value like meeting new people and building new relationships and friendships because I feel like we're put on this earth to learn about each other. And I mean, that's why I love traveling because there's just so much opportunity to meet so many new people and just learn. And
Right.
that, I mean, my dad always taught me just to have a growth mindset. Like, my dad's pushing 60 and he learns something new every day. And that puts things into perspective for me. Like, I'm gonna be learning for the next 40 years. I'm turning
Love
23
that.
tomorrow, and like I understand there's a whole world ahead of me, and that's why it's awesome meeting new people because I get to learn things from you guys and whoever I meet. So yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for the compliments. I'm humbled.
Of course, like honestly, you don't have to thank us for that because it's one of those things that you've built and you've earned. Like you said, you didn't grow up this way. Like you weren't always this way. This wasn't innate to you. And for you to come out of that being like, you know what? Even though these are the cards that I was handed or these are the cards that I was dealt, to be able to just decide against it is like awesome. It's like really cool to be able to see how that you have switched that. And you mentioned traveling. You're moving to Hawaii.
I am, yeah.
So going from Southern Cal to Hawaii, which is climately, I guess, not that crazy,
Hmm.
but just you. So tell us more about, like, you don't have, do you have like a home base, a community, or anything in Hawaii? Or you're just going out there starting fully fresh?
Yeah, so I I'm not moving for any particular reason. Like I'm not moving like for friends or a job. I have a job. I work remote, and like I was telling you guys about like traveling and building new experiences, like I work remote, so that gives me the freedom
Mm-hmm.
to be anywhere in the world and still make a living. And so I've been living at home for the past year, just saving up money, and I've been thinking about like where do I want to move to? For me, I really wanted to move out of state because I feel like there's just a lot that you can learn being in a completely new environment.
Right.
And so one night, I just, for the fun of it, I just was like, dude, let me see what it would be like to live in Hawaii. I didn't even think it would be realistically possible, like financially. And I ended up just scrolling on Facebook groups and found like a house, like a housing roommate
Yeah.
Facebook group, and found an opportunity and reached out to these people, and it worked out perfectly. And it's going to be a huge change for me, and I'm excited for that. Um, I have one friend on the island like that I went to college with, but like she's not the reason I'm moving out there.
Right.
But I'm moving in with people that I don't know. Like I've talked to them over the phone, like FaceTimed them and whatnot, but I've never met them like physically. I only know like very small details about them and like what
Mm-hmm.
they do and like where they're from. Um, but yeah, I'm just going out there to pretty much live life and learn and meet new people
Sick.
and honestly to build my relationship with God. Like I feel like
Mm.
like
Mm.
like going out there, it was such a perfect opportunity and it fell onto a place, and I feel like it was God's calling for me to go out there.
Yeah.
And one of my big goals for 2025 was to grow my relationship with the Lord and be more consistent with my spiritual practices. And I feel like by being on an island 2,500 miles in the Pacific Ocean, I'm not going to have family to lean on. I'm not going to have my friends from home or some of my best friends around me. But the person that's always going to be there is God, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be able to lean on Him. I know it's like I'm going to have hardships. That's just how life goes. I know I'm going to go out there and I'll probably go through something and it's going to be hard, but I'll be able to lean on the Lord. And that is the one thing I'm looking forward to the most about going out there is growing my relationship with God. Just because Hawaii is also a very like community driven place,
Mm.
and I'm very big on community, and I feel like there's a lot you can learn out of that. And so, yeah, that's my main gist on like why I'm heading out there.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. If you don't mind me asking you a question just about your current point that you were talking about, so your relationship with God, what do you feel like is something that you've done in recent history to like grow that relationship with Him? Because we've personally talked about a lot of the stuff that you've done, so like I know, but I think it's a lot of people it'd be really beneficial for a lot of people to hear like your growth like journey, and like because I'm personally really inspired by it, and like
Yeah,
when I've had hard times, like talk to Tyler, and he's like, yeah, man, Drew's the man for growth, like really. So like I would really love to hear your perspective
of
on that.
course. Yeah, I love sharing my journey and my relationship with God. So I grew up like like going to church. I grew up in the church like every Sunday. Went with my parents and my brother. I have an older brother, 4 years older than me, and love that guy to death. He's helped me a lot in life, even though we're extremely different, which I'm going to get into. Um, so yeah, grew up going to church, and it was just something that we always did every Sunday. My grandmother was very, very religious.
Mm-hmm.
Like God spoke to her. Like that is what she would tell me. She'd pray for me every night, and so yeah, grew up very religious. And then when I was in seventh grade, uh, my brother was a junior in high school, and he had come out. He's
Yeah.
gay, and that was a very tough moment for us as a family in terms of like our faith. And obviously, we all love my brother, and that had no effect on how we treated him. Like that's family, it's family for life, and we love him. And so, but we did stop going to church at that moment, and I was in seventh grade, so it's not like I could just go drive my car to church. Like I was a kid, so for a while, I kind of let that relationship go stagnant with the Lord. And, I went through high school and I would pray here and there, but it was like all like selfish prayers, It was just like, oh, like, Lord, like, please allow us to win this football game. Like, it was very, it wasn't very, it wasn't anything super like serious. And then I went to school up in Oregon, George Fox University, which is a Christian school. It's a private Christian college. And as I was there, we had to go to chapels because we had to take chapel credits, and so I was just naturally in an environment where the Lord was around me, and I was around individuals who were inspired by the Lord and that were, living for the Lord. And so it started to open up my perspective and kind of reopen that door slightly. And I went on a 3-week trip abroad to Europe. And these were with kids at my school, and some of them I weren't even that close with. And one of the kids on that trip, his name is Ryan, which is also my brother's name. And on that trip, Ryan and I had gone a little split apart from the group, and we started talking about our relationship with God and our faith. And he's a very like spiritually driven. And I told him about my relationship, and I told him like how I wanted to. I was telling him about my curiosity and how I kind of wanted to rekindle that relationship with God. And he said, well, like what do you want to do to do that? And I told him like I don't know, I feel lost. And that was the first time I ever verbally said like I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Like I don't know what to do about this.
Right.
I come back after that trip, and my girlfriend of 4 years breaks up with me.
Yeah.
And
that's some heavy stuff.
Yeah. And so
that's a one. Yeah.
And at this point, I had never experienced anything traumatic in my life. Like I hadn't experienced death to this point. So this for me was like the biggest, the most traumatic thing that happened to me. And my first initial reaction when that happened was to turn to God. And for the past 10 years, of my life, I had not had a relationship with God. And that was the first thing that I felt like that's where my heart was taking me. And I generally felt like that moment, like that event of my ex-girlfriend breaking up with me, I thought I was going to marry this girl. And her breaking up with me, I felt like that was placed in my life so I could take the necessary steps forward to pursue my relationship with the Lord.
Yeah.
And from then, I started reading scripture, reading devotions every morning. And if we want to get super deep into it, I had like a moment where I felt like God spoke to me. And I'm not trying to bash on anyone's name, hope my ex-girlfriend's doing well. But I had found out that she had gone back with her ex-boyfriend after we had broken up. And the day that I had seen the photo of that happening, I had bought this necklace because this was about 2 months after the fact, and I felt comfortable enough to where I felt like I was able to wear this and show my relationship with God. And the day I wore this is when I saw that photo. And that was obviously a very hard night for me because I didn't know that was happening. The next morning, my devotion, I'm getting chills. The next morning, my devotion, it's particular to the specific day. So like, what's today? It's March 2nd. So like March 2nd has a specific devotion, a specific verse.
Right.
It's not like you just open it and you read whichever one you want.
Right.
That specific one, the next morning after I had that very rough night of seeing that photo, the title of the devotion on the page was like, "The Truth Hurts."
Oh my God.
And
I'm gonna cry.
Hold on. Just give that a moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that for me was like God speaking to me.
Yeah.
And this is why it happened. And since then, man,
That just gave me chills.
Yeah,
wow.
I love sharing that story. I have chills every time I speak it, and I love speaking it. And so since then, man, like I've never taken this necklace off. Like this, I feel like the Lord's always with me now. And since then, like I've done my end of the relationship, and there's still things that I can improve on. And like that's why this year it was a really big goal for me to continue building on that. Because like towards the end of last year, had a lot going on just with work and life and training for a marathon, and I kind of like withered off like that relationship with the Lord. And
Right.
I said going into this year, like I want to make sure I'm staying consistent with everything.
Mhm.
So, and to this point, like I've been perfect, and it's been awesome, and you know, he's my Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, and this I haven't shared this with anyone, but when I feel the time is right, I want to get baptized in Hawaii. I want to get baptized when I'm out
man.
there
Yeah.
because, like I said, I feel like that's my calling out there.
Yeah.
I feel like when I feel ready for it, like I want to get baptized in Hawaii. I haven't shared that with anyone, like, but that's how I feel.
So what's ready? So sorry, just to give you that, what's ready for it? Like for you specifically, what does ready mean? Like, so I'll give you my story. So I same as you, grew up in the church always.
Right.
When I was 12, I was living in Romania because my mom got an internship to live in Romania. I told my mom I wanted to get baptized. She goes, I've always had one wish for you as my son. If you were to be baptized, one, I wanted to make sure that that was what you wanted to do. Because my mom would love me either way, but she definitely obviously wanted me to be Christian. But she would love me either way.
Right.
But she wanted to make sure that I understood what I was signing up for. And not only that, she wanted to get me baptized in the Jordan River. So she goes, if we want to get you baptized, you need to read the Bible. Front to back, read the Bible. And so I was like, oh, that's easy. Read a book. I'm in school. I read a book all the time. You get to Numbers. All of a sudden, you don't want to read no book no more.
Right.
But I went through, I read it front to back. I would love to say I understood all of it. I understood.
We'll have to cut it pretty soon.
Yeah. We're 5 minutes out, 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies. I thought
It
that
was someone
the-
else's alarm. I
My
think
apologies.
it was.
My apologies.
We have a roommate, Jordan. She has an alarm to remind her to get ready for bed and then to go to bed.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was hers.
My apologies.
No, we
Yeah.
good. Where was I? Read the Bible front to back.
Yeah.
Didn't fully understand it, but understood what I was signing up for. Understood that this was my commitment to life. Now, me and my mom, it's only me and my mom. We had no idea how we were going to get to Jerusalem or to the Jordan River. So I think it was about 2 days after I had just finished the Bible. I had just finished reading. Took me about a year to fully get through it because ADHD is a real thing. But got me a year to get through it. And then we were walking around church. It was after our service. And then me and my mom accidentally walked past a room that said mission trip to Jerusalem.
Wow.
And we were like, wait, like literally the door was open, getting shut. And we just go, did that just, that said what? Yeah, that did say what we thought it did.
Yeah.
And so we went in, and then we found out that the church was providing a mission trip, and it was like, it was only 3,000. I'd say only 3,000. Where we were, 3,000 was a lot, but like only 3,000 to go to Jerusalem for a week and have a full tour and walk where Jesus walked and everything like that. And my mom beautifully got the chance. That was like one of her dreams for me, was to get me baptized in the Jordan River, and I was able to get baptized in the Jordan River off of that trip, off of accidentally, like literally 2 days after finishing the Bible. Because that's my mom's, you're ready to be baptized.
Right.
2 days after finishing the Bible, we were allowed to see this mission trip. They've been having meetings for months at this point about this mission trip. And we just happened to walk into the second to last one.
Yeah, that's God did.
And so,
True.
God did. And so it is amazing, but I'm basically, long story short, or long question short, what for you determines that you're ready to get baptized?
There's not like a specific tangible thing I can say.
Mm.
When it feels right in my heart.
You'll
I'll
know when you know.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll know when I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to put like, oh, I have to read the whole Bible, or
Right.
I have to do X amount of things for X X amount of days.
Right.
Because I don't think that's how your relationship with God works.
Fair.
You know, He loves you no matter what, and you have to love Him
No
at
matter
all
what.
times.
Yep.
And it's been a year and a half since I've like reopened that door with God into my life, and I acknowledge there's still things that I need to work on, and I know that He's loving me throughout this whole journey of me figuring all this out. And so, like I said, I can't specifically say when it is, but like I know I'll feel it in my heart, and I know it's going to happen in Hawaii because I genuinely believe that He's sending me out there.
Fair.
And so, yeah, that would be my answer to that question.
So I'm a devil's advocate type of person. I like to challenge a little bit of thought, and if I may.
Of course.
So here's my question. So what do you say to someone you say that when you're ready, when you feel like it's your time, what would you say to someone that says, but God says, come as you are?
I would say, listen, I feel like you have to be ready to accept God's love. I feel like you have to be willing to take it.
Yep.
You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force the horse
Come
to drink it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
And so, like, I'm getting to that point, and I know I'm going to get to that point, right? It's just like running a marathon. I know I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
It's just getting there.
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel. It's like I have to be ready and willing to accept that love and fully take it all in, you know? And so I know my heart's going to get there. I just feel like there's a lot of things that I need to work on personally to accept that for the rest of my life, because that's a lifelong commitment.
100%. Yeah.
And so
love that.
Yeah, that would be my response. So.
Come on. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
that got me hyped. Oh, that got me so hyped. I love that so much.
Are we running close?
They get me so excited. We can take a break right now.
Okay.
When we come back, we will be doing
Perfect.
We'll be doing Am I the Asshole? Have a little bit of fun with it. We got the deep and juicy, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it.
Right on.
Maybe we'll get right back into deep and juicy. We'll see where the conversation
goes.
But
Baby.
let's take a quick bathroom break, and we'll be right back.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir. Yes, sir.
We're in the space.
Chia. All right, perfect. So welcome back. We took our brief intermission, a little bit of water break, a little bit of drink, get some water in us, take a piss, all that.
Yep.
We're gonna start off this second half with Am I the Asshole? So we had our editor in chief, not an official title, he is unpaid. Scroll through a little bit of Reddit to find Am I the Asshole? So let's start off with the title. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend if she can take a shower?
Oh, this is about to be brutal. Isn't it?
So just off the title, what are we thinking? Is he the asshole or no?
I personally would say no, because I feel like it's normal. Like, that's just common decency to shower.
Right.
Like,
I mean, yeah, I'm on the same boat.
like
yeah.
that's like just for. Like, I mean, you can't be walking around stink every single day.
100%.
It's common decency for the sake of others.
You're right.
You don't want other. I mean, I would say no.
No, not the asshole. Max, what are we thinking?
I'm going to hop on that. I mean, obviously, it's going to be very situational, but my main thought with this overall is, like, I mean, thinking about it, like, I mean, we've dated people before, and then, like, you're actively in a relationship. Like,
Yeah.
We'll come home from, like, a run, or, like, you playing volleyball, or, like, me lifting, and, like, I smell.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
and, like, rightfully so. I think if my partner looked at me and was like, you need to shower because you smell so bad, I would be like, yeah, super fair. Like, that's
Yeah.
super fair. So I don't think that's a super bad thing to say. I think it's totally okay. Like, I think you should be comfortable enough with your partner to be like, hey, you need to shower.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't say that, like, imagine how much harder some other conversations are
Yeah.
going to be.
Good point.
Yeah.
Dude,
Very good point.
I'll be honest. I rolled over this morning. Well, I got off the beanbag because we had a friend stay over, and so my fiance and our friend Jordan slept in the bed, and I slept on the beanbag. And I got up and I like laid in bed with my fiance, and I rolled up. Like, I was trying to look at the TikTok she was scrolling through on her phone, and she goes, "Can you look the other way? Your breath stank." And she just goes, I wanted to stop breathing because you were. So I was just like, all right, we gotta get up, brush our teeth. I feel like no. Let's get some context. Let's go through.
Let's get some context behind this.
Yeah,
All
this will
right.
be crucial.
So again, am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend if she can take a shower? My girlfriend really only showers once a week, twice if I'm lucky. Typically, we go to the gym together. I've often asked her why she doesn't shower, and she always comes up with things like, oh, women don't really sweat much, and I sweat very little even for women's standards, and I don't buy it because I can smell. I don't buy it because I have a nose.
Rightfully so.
Right, and so he goes, I don't buy it because I can smell. I used to just suck it up because I know she's extremely sensitive, kind of not safe for work. So kids, if you're listening, stop. But this has even affected our sex life. I used to love going down on her, but after not showering after workouts / long work days, etc., I've lost interest.
Our
Fair.
editor-in-chief is howling laughing.
That is-
right
Yeah,
now.
editor-in-chief is dying right now.
That is an ultimate turn-up.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
that's crazy.
It's not even disrespectful. It's like basic hygiene is really important for
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really important. Like,
Not even a wipe down. Like I know some girls are like, I know some girls like we live in Montana, so like I know some of our water is a little bit harder and like is a little bit like can dry out the skin, and some girls are like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like I have to keep my skin silky smooth or whatever. But like, okay, so our editor in chief just goes, this bitch has opened a bakery down there. If you don't get the joke, you are too young to be listening to this part. But all right, to fast forward a little bit, she now starts using the sauna at the uses the sauna at the gym.
This is going way worse than
No,
I thought it
she's for real
was.
sweaty now.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
actually.
on average 2 times a week. She still period still period refuses period period shower period. I've said there's just no way you don't sweat in the sauna. Just me sitting there 5 minutes. Just me sitting 5 minutes in there gets me soaked. She says she doesn't sweat much either, and sits there for 20 minutes.
No.
That's not
Impossible.
possible. That's
No.
actually impossible.
There are things are now worse. I can smell her very badly, almost to the point where I try not to breathe in too close to her because it's not good. I've tried so long to give hints to get her to shower more, like, hey, do you want to take a shower together? Wink. But she can't take the hint and says, why would we do that? There's only room for one under the water anyway. One evening, she wanted to lie down on the floor and just stare at a world map she has. She invited me to lie down next to her and just talk about where we wanted to go, etc. I lasted for about 1 minute before I had to make up some dumb excuse as to why I had to get up. She then gets upset and says something along the lines of, why are you leaving? You never do stuff with me. The truth is, I just can't be close to her for too long. I'm not even sure if I started to resent her because it was only this one thing that was bugging me in the relationship. But maybe I did, and that's my fault for being bad at communicating to her. Anyway, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I tried one last time to ask if she wanted to take a shower with me to show I did want to do stuff with her, but she declined. Then I said, I know you say you don't sweat, but I can smell. I don't like the smell of sweat, etc. It being a popular gym we go to, I would just appreciate if you showered a bit more. She freaked out. World War III started. She accused me of things and asked if I found her disgusting, etc. It almost felt like she wanted me to think she's disgusting for some messed up reason. Like this was an easy way to create distance between us, have less sex, and all that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm overthinking it. It's just me. It feels awfully obvious to shower, if not daily, at least every other day.
Agreed.
She said she doesn't want to shower her hair or wash her hair often, which my fiance does not wash her hair every time
That's
she
an
showers.
entirely different story.
Yeah,
You're
completely
not-
different
you're actually
conversation.
Not
wash
supposed
your
to,
hair.
yeah. No,
Right,
that's-
and like I have dreads, so
Yeah,
I wash
I
my
was-
hair about every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I get that, but still you can shower your body. She goes, our relationship is borderline over because I hurt her. So, am I the asshole? What could I have done differently?
Drew, do you want to start or can I start?
Yo, go for it, man.
Go.
I'm going to say this right now. If you flip the genders of this situation, I can't imagine the things that would be said. I just want to start off with that. If this was a guy doing this behavior, first of all, this would have lasted 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
And she would have walked.
Rightfully so, though, also.
Right.
Might I add.
100%.
Might I add. That's entirely
Basic
valid.
hygiene.
So, first and foremost, for this guy to stay as long as he has, like, I gotta say, like, I might actually say, like, that's love. That's some real love. Like, that's love.
I mean, he tried.
He tried, and I also don't think his approach to it was awful by any means. Like, that's entirely, I mean, it's beyond reasonable. Let's
try to
be
make
honest.
it cute. Try to be like, let's shower
give
together.
her hands.
Let's give it a spark. Let's do this. Let's do that.
What kind of blowing my mind is like, how has she not developed a bacterial infection?
That's
or
what I'm
skin
also.
problem,
Yeah.
or like
I don't know.
staph infection.
Like that's when he goes. We go to a popular gym. That's my first thought. It's like
Exactly.
staph infection.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this goes back to basic hygiene.
Yeah,
basic
no.
human being.
And that's why he's not an asshole. Like, there's
No,
just
I don't
other
think
way
he
to
is.
put
And
it.
this is why people used to live until they're like 34, like at maximum. You know what I mean? Like, because we didn't have those basic hygiene skills. Like, now
Right.
this is why people's life expectancy has grown, is like having access
Right.
to running water, to electricity, to all these different things.
That's the real question. Is like, how does she not have dysentery? Like, I heard that was huge on the Oregon Trail. Like there's no way. There's no way.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Every time I played that game, I died from dysentery, bro. Like, you get what I mean?
Fair point.
Oh man.
Okay, so we do have an update. So he posted
There's
this.
an update.
Wow.
He posted this 5 days ago. We got updated
5 days ago?
Today. We got
Oh my
updated
God.
today. Update. We broke up. It just starts there. We broke up. She refused to accept she was disgusting by not showering and did not see anything wrong. Impossible for me to change her mind, and when she is dead set on no wrongdoing, no point for me to argue with someone like that. Seems like there was a lot of unresolved trauma in her past. I was aware of it, but not the severity of it and how it still affects her today. One of her first sentences to come out when I confronted her again about it was, break up with me then. I'm gonna take a pause. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Like,
don't
for
like that
me,
either.
I've
Nope.
always tried to date for marriage, for life, for always. If I am bringing an
100%.
issue to you and you just go, break up with me then. At a point, you keep playing that card, I'm going to use it.
Well, okay, I'll be honest.
Yeah, please.
If I brought up a serious problem and I
Mm.
was trying to be understanding and just trying to, like, let's work on this, and that is how my girlfriend responds, I'm breaking up with you. If that's your mindset,
Yeah.
I don't even want to. That's not.
That sets a tone of, like,
Right,
I'm
that's-
not willing to have a conversation. I'm not
Exactly.
willing to work this
No,
out.
and
I'm just let's end it.
I don't want any part in that. And like, I've always understood, like, or I've always gone in the mindset to relationship of, like, if there's a problem, it's not one against one. It's two against.
Yeah,
It's two
right.
against the problem.
It's you versus
100%.
it's
You guys
both
are a
you
team.
guys.
You guys are a team. So if
Yeah.
she's like, just break up with me, then
Maybe you should.
right there, you guys aren't a team. Like, that's just not,
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, along with that too, like, to add to your point, it's like, if that's her mindset off the jump, it's like, sure, she's not ready for a long time commitment as well. If that's the
Mhm.
verbiage being used,
Exactly.
because when you come to someone that you love and they love you as well, and you say, I have this issue, and like, say, like, in a healthy, respectful way, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I get it, if it's aggressive or anything, like, people are going to get defensive.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
natural.
That's different.
And
yeah.
that's entirely different. But what I'm talking about is, like, in this guy's situation, he came to her and was like, hey, this is bothering me and it's a serious problem. And it's, like, also a health problem. Like, there's a lot of reasons as to why
Right.
this is a problem. And,
And
it's funny, like, you're laughing, but it's also, like, it's also very serious.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
we're laughing because it's that, like,
Well,
I
it's
don't
so
know.
outrageous.
It's so
Yeah,
outrageous,
yeah,
yeah. But it's like, and then it's like, well, just break up with me if, like, I'm that much of a problem. It's like, I just can't even understand like
No.
how far gone that is. Like
No.
where she's at mentally, where it's like, well, if I'm just this problem, it's like, dude, I'm not calling you a problem. I'm telling you there's a serious problem that just needs to get fixed.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
it's
then
funny
everything will
because
be
it's
fine.
not just like, it's not like, hey, I can't be around you because you smell. It's not just that. If you don't shower, you're not cleaning yourself.
Yeah, and then
You get a cut, gangrene.
Well,
now
and
you lose
also-
a leg. Like
exactly.
it's like,
I'm not comfortable having sex with someone who's not properly clean.
I'm not
I don't
comfortable
blame
having
you.
a conversation with someone that's not properly cleaned.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a very OCD person. I still believe in the 5-second rule. Like I'm not
Yeah.
germaphobe, but like the fact that it seems, at least from the conversation, they live together.
Yeah. No.
So
Like,
you
you're sleeping in the same bed.
sleeping in the same bed
Like-
every day, in and out. You're just smelling, and like he does not express how long this goes on for.
I'm going to just say this as well, just because I have this experience. So when I was in high school, I spent a month in the Wind River Range, like doing some backpacking and mountaineering. So like I was for 28 days straight, like in the field, and like I remember coming off that trip and how bad like everything smelled.
Right,
Yeah.
Like how bad I personally smelled. Like
Yeah.
take everything off and how bad I just reeked. Like
Dude, I took
I
one
can't-
whiff of my volleyball shoes after one. Like my first tournament, they were brand new before. It took one whiff and could
it's
have.
gone. You
No.
already cooked the shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
exactly.
and I've been on the same boat as well. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure you have as well. Like yeah, no,
100%.
like I can't tell you. Like dude, we took all my clothes from that trip, put them in a box, and shipped it. And it was like it was a bomb. like I'm not even lying. Like no, and then like
Contamination.
yeah, and when it came back to our house, like I remember my mom was one of the guys, and my dad and I were like, "Don't touch that. Don't touch.
Don't break
touch
that air seal.
So that's like
dude.
a side little like funny anecdote, but like on a serious note though, it's like if you stack that stuff up, it's going to reek. It's going to
Oh
be
my-
disgusting.
Yeah.
So I read ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
please,
Okay,
please.
yeah. Let's
And
hear it.
somehow it goes crazy.
No way.
So she
No,
said, break up with
Lord.
me then, right? Like she was challenging me or something. It really made me feel weird. Instead of us coming to an agreement together, she went very defensive and just attacked me. She has struggled with having girlfriends as she was scared of them stealing her current boyfriend or something. So she always went to hang out with guys. She loved getting validation from guys as well. Different conversation. All right. So she ended up having a lot of friends with benefits over the years. There's a lot of stuff I did not know, but that's just not my thing. For some reason, I almost feel used in a way because I feel like to her, I was just another friends with benefits, but she was someone I actually saw a future with. Ultimately, what made us break up, though, was the fact that she sees herself as over men or over me in this case. And this is bolded and italicized. She believes women are holy. Sorry. She believes women are holy. She was the taker in the relationship and I was the giver. It worked for some time, but I started resenting her and did not want to be as much of a giver for her anymore. I started to notice that she did not appreciate my efforts and she did not reciprocate much at all. Hopefully she will find a guy who will put her on the highest pedestal out there, but the guy is not me. All power to her. Also, hope the guy doesn't have nose. That's it. Just hope guy doesn't have nose.
I mean, yeah.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, please.
So obviously,
I think Drew and I are in shock.
yeah, right. So obviously, from what I read, there seems to be a little bit more than just that one problem in the relationship, of course. But from what I read, I believe women are holy as well.
Right.
I believe
100%.
men are holy. I believe all of
100%.
God's creatures are holy.
Absolutely.
But to use that in the sense that one is over
Yes,
the
exactly.
other is insane. No one.
No.
Amen.
And one of the biggest things I try to realize in my own relationship, and I am nowhere near perfect, one thing I try to realize is it's never 50-50.
Oh.
As much as people are like,
Yeah.
I want a 50-50 relationship, it's never.
No.
Nope.
It's never, because unless you will take it as simple as finances, unless you cap your salary at what your partner is making, it's already not going to be 50-50 because one person's going to have more money. And then there's going to be different responsibilities. Someone's going to work more hours. Someone's going to work less hours. Someone's not going to work. Someone is going to work, so on and so forth. And it gets to the point where it's like, it's never 50-50. At times it will be 80-20. At other times it will be just like it's you have to bring what your partner is lacking and your partner has to bring what they're lacking. And for one to be over the other is just not a conversation. There is no, yeah, you're supposed to treat your woman like a princess or a queen or anything like that. But she then needs to treat you as a prince and a king. And in my way, but so there seems to be a lot of underlying stuff that he says weren't really a problem, but it seems like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But to take in the full context and the full big picture, I think it's hilarious the fact that that was the justification for not showering. You get what I mean? It's like, hey, you don't shower enough, you smell, but women are holy. Great, and I hope the Packers win the Super Bowl this year. What the fuck are we talking about?
Right.
Like, how is that a justification for not watch? I have a skin condition, eczema. The shower flares me up. Oh well, like it's like
if there was a medical condition behind it, entirely different story.
100%, 100%, and that should have been a conversation way earlier. Just like I don't know. I try to be a very upfront person, and
I mean,
no, go.
If you view yourself as holy, I just feel like you should be like cleaning yourself.
Yeah, say it, yeah.
Like that, if you're so holy,
yeah.
you should be taking care. Like when I view something holy, like I want to like nourish this thing and take care of it and like make sure it's the best it could possibly be, right? Like, and your body's a temple, like
Right.
you gotta take care of that. Like if you think women are so holy and like you're not washing yourself. I just feel like that's contradicting almost as well.
I would completely agree with that. Like,
Love
I would
it,
100% agree with that. And I think even just beyond that argument, like, I think there was a level of demeaning in that relationship on the guy's end that I feel for, because I think you should be able to have a partner that you're able to have an honest conversation with. This goes back to what I was saying early on of, like, if you can't come to your partner and tell them about being like, hey, you need a shower because you smell. Like, there's so many more difficult things in life that will happen.
Yep.
100%.
And, like, if that's how you greet that conversation, I can't imagine the carnage that would take place in any other conversation that would be remotely more serious than that. So,
I try to take it out of context and put it in a different context. Like, we're a team, right? Sports team. Let's take volleyball, for example. Let's say my setter is setting me super low and I am getting blocked over and over again. And I look at my setter, I'm like, hey, could you set me higher? And he goes, really? Quit the team? Well, then just quit the team.
really, you want me to be your setter then?
Yeah, you want it, so you really want me to be your setter?
What do you gain from that?
Right.
Like actually, though.
I'm just going to, at least me, I'm just going to, look at my coach and just go, huh? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Sub, please? Anybody else? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's just not how things should go or should work or ever. Like, I'll say this, I understand that at least my relationship, we're not perfect at all.
Well, and I feel like entering a relationship, you have to come in with that self-awareness.
Right, and
you have to come in with awareness that your partner's also not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to love them through their flaws, and you guys are going to grow together and grow into this beautiful couple. And I'm sure you experience this because you're going to get married. You have a fiance. You're not just with a girlfriend. You have a fiance.
Right.
And that's a lifelong commitment to I'm going to love this woman for the rest of my life through her flaws, and we're gonna grow together. Right. And it's that's the beauty in a relationship.
That's what I love about me and Leah's relationship is she obviously had trauma and so did I. And there was some times in the beginning of the relationship where the question was, do we break up? It's it's not necessarily oh, I don't want to fix this problem. Do we break up? It's hey, this is just kind of how I am in life right now. And so I don't know if I could fix this
Mm-hmm.
or be better. So could you still stay with me until I can fix this or until I can be better? And that was the most of the conversations, but it was never just I quit. Like
Yeah.
that pisses me off, like
Yeah.
beyond a
Yeah.
audible. Like I can't even bring the words of just like I quit. Like if we try to work through a situation or a problem or anything like that, and we get to the point where like
It's just not working.
you're like either we just have to live with this and this just isn't a conversation anymore, or we
Yeah.
gotta go.
I have 2 points based off of what you guys have both said. So
Just 5 minute warning, just to let
Perfect.
you know.
thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So there was one aspect of that story that I really didn't like, and it was her perspective on like how a relationship should be, and that goes back to what you were saying about like, relationships should be 50-50, but that's not the case. Sometimes it's going to be 60-40 one side, 80-20 the other side. Like that's real.
It is.
Yeah.
That's real.
No, that's
I
just
agree.
and
I
that
agree.
like
and even
everyone needs to know that
Mhm.
going into that as well. Like
Mhm.
that's a non-negotiable.
Yep.
Like, and if you're not ready to be in that position for your other person, what are you doing?
Right. And if
I'm
you're
just gonna
not
say that
willing
off
to
rip.
bring 80, 90 for, and it's not like today, just 80, 90.
it could-
Like it could be 3, 4, 5 a year. Like if
Yeah.
you're together for 30 years,
Yeah.
there's going to be a period of time where like you might have to bring 90 for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is obviously like, now if you're bringing 90 in the beginning, different conversation. But if you guys
Yeah.
are locked in, committed, we're in this together for life, like where me and Leah are, there might
Yeah.
be a year that you got to bring 90.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's just, if you're not prepared for that,
Yeah.
mm,
I think about this line a lot with partners. It's like when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? You know what I mean?
hmm,
Like I really
Hmm.
think like your partner like should always be a fan of you, and like even when you're falling, like are you really gonna be by their side? And like are you gonna be there to help them pick themselves back up? Because you can't pick up somebody else. And I'm not saying that should ever be the case, but like you gotta come to them and be like, I'm right here through you. Like
Yeah.
I'm right here with you through all of this,
Mhm.
and let's figure this out together.
Be supportive.
That's love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
love.
love.
It is love.
And
Dude.
so my next point with all this though is
Yeah.
this, is that I hate the whole mentality that she had of like, I'm a taker, he's a giver,
Mm.
and that's how it should be.
Right. I think that was more of what he was expressing. He was just saying. I don't think she
Yeah.
said that she was the taker and he was the giver.
But I think it was obvious though, regardless.
through
You know what I mean?
behavior.
Yeah.
It showed
Like,
exactly.
I
how she
like. I mean,
felt.
no one's gonna ever like physically express that. I mean,
Right.
if they did, it's like that's bold.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
With that though, too, it's like I really dislike that when I've seen that in like relationships with others. Like I think
Mhm.
that's something that's really detrimental and will overall fail. Like all the
100%.
time. Like even if someone
100%.
like was married to that person for the rest of their life, they're not happy.
Yeah.
I agree.
If you're always giving and you get nothing in return, you will get burnt out, and that's
Yeah.
just the truth. And
Well,
it's not selfish; it's
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
It's
and
entirely
that
human.
person's gonna seek for the areas where they're lacking of the receiving.
That's
Right?
where people
100%.
cheat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's 100% where
And
people
that's
cheat.
not a good excuse, but regardless, like that's
It's-
the
No,
reasoning.
that-
There's
That
no.
is the reasoning.
There's never ever an excuse to cheat,
No,
but like.
not at all.
But that's the space as to why it happens.
But that's why it
That's what
happens.
yeah.
That's what like being a psychology major, I looked that up a lot because I got cheated on a relationship or two in my past, and I was like, why? Like why?
Yeah.
And it was in their mind a lack of reciprocated energy. They probably felt, a lot of women say this at least, they felt like they were putting in more than they were getting. And now I will give myself the grace that I was in football, I was AP, I was this, I was that. My mom wouldn't drive me places. I get it. So there was a lot of effort on her part for us to be able to see. And I'm not saying that I was perfect ever.
Right.
I never was, never have been, probably never will be perfect. But it's funny to see for me is like that's what happened. It's like when you are giving everything you got. That's why people quit jobs too. It's like you give everything you got to this, everything you got, and you never get nothing back.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you're
You're gonna
putting
get sick of it.
right. You're gonna get, as a human being, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she first step, take a fucking shower.
Yeah.
Like at this point, fucking take a detox bath. Like add some
Yeah.
apple cider vinegar or like bleach. I don't fucking know how you get that
I
much
don't
gunk.
know.
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know. Never been there, never done that. I just like, and I'm a type of person, I love to play devil's advocate. I can't argue that. Like, you
Yeah.
have to have a medical condition that would literally dead the argument. You would never break up because she would be like, not, okay, maybe she's like, I have agoraphobia. I'm pretty sure, hello, 2-minute warning. Pretty sure that's fear of water or whatever the fear of water is. Or she's like, she has that condition where she's allergic to water.
Yeah.
Like, other than those two, in my mind, there are no fucking reasons to take a shower once a week.
There's
Like, I want
no
to.
reason why basic hygiene shouldn't be a priority.
No,
Yep.
never that. Unless you don't have access, of course.
Right,
if you don't
right.
have access, but
Right.
doesn't sound like they did it. All right. Well, to wrap things up, Drew, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, being one of I think you're our first guest.
He is our first guest.
Yeah.
Honored. Thank you
We
for
appreciate,
having me.
we
Dude.
appreciate
Awesome.
you being here, so thank you very much.
100%. Do you have any socials or anything you want to plug? Anything of that sort?
Plug the
man.
business.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Fifth Element Media. If you need marketing,
Mhm.
we do marketing. We'll get you leads, we get you sales, we'll do all that. We're growing
Beautiful.
a lot this year, so we want to dive into other industries. So
yeah.
if you need marketing, there you go.
We might need marketing, so we'll talk off mic. We'll talk off mic. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Any
sir.
personal socials you want to share? Anything like that?
Sure, man. Drew __ Waelde, WAELDE on Instagram. I'm gonna start building a personal brand here as I move to Hawaii. I'm gonna start filming my life, documenting my life.
Hey,
Love it.
So
Let's
that's
go.
gonna be a hobby this year. So
perfect.
yeah, there we
Beautiful.
go. There we
Awesome.
go.
All right, ladies. You now have the DMs. Do what you do. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of the Perplexing Perspective. One day I will get through that without stuttering. I've been your co-host, Julian.
And I'm Max.
And thank you for joining us. God bless.
Thank you.